I feel like he's doing a really good job out here. I'm highly impressed with where he is mentally. I already knew the physical aspect was there. I'm highly impressed with where he's at mentally, and I'm highly impressed with the way he's going out and attacking every single day, and competing out here every single day. So, and look, I think that's a quality of our football team that you see out here. Our guys are practicing hard. Our guys are competing, and that's the only way you get better is to practice with that type of tempo and that type of intensity. So it's been good to see.
Yeah, some more red zone work today. What were some of the things you liked?
Well, number one, I like working the situation. Guys, the things that they're seeing in a certain situation, and the plays that we call, you have to execute those differently, whether it's 1st and 10 in the red zone, whether it's 3rd down in the red zone, different than how you might execute those same plays out in the field. So I think that's been good. I think the execution overall on both sides of the ball has been good, and I think you've seen some back and forth between each group, and I think that's good.
Dennis, your overall thoughts for the first 2 weeks of camp?
Overall thoughts are we still have a long way to go. There's a lot of things that we have to get better at. There's still a ton of evaluation that has to take place. We're making progress, which is a positive. But man, we still have a long way to go before we start, trying to come up with a real evaluation of exactly who we are getting into this season. But I like the way our guys are competing.
After a few padded practices, do you see any growth from Peyton Turner now that you guys are pads from last year to this year, just in his approach? Do I see growth? Yes. Is there still a ton of room for improvement? Absolutely. And so, look, we don't have a lot of conversations about that. I just really want these guys to come in every day and grind and just work. And the results always take care of themselves if you work the right way. Yeah,
pretty clear, ready to go.
Again, that was cool to see. I was excited about getting him out here. We've kind of held the reins back on him, our decision more so than it's been his. It's part of the ramp-up process, so we'll continue to ramp him up.
Along the same lines, Mike Thomas got into 11-11 today for the first time.
Yeah, I told you it was coming sooner rather than later, right?
What did you see from him, and how confidence building is that for him to just be able to get that done this early?
Yeah, look, I think good. Look, honestly, there's a couple times he ended up on the ground. I think that's all part of the process and building that confidence. I think he's in a good mindset right now. I think he looks good physically. I'm excited about where he's at.
How's your defensive line being, especially when Marcus Chapman comes back? And how do those three guys with Turner, Jordan, Davenport complement each other?
Well, there's more than just those three. And so, yeah, I think this line can be, I think the D-line can be extremely good. I think we have a lot of depth. I think we have a lot of versatility, things guys can do. Like, there's different things that a lot of guys can do. And so we got talented players that work extremely hard, and they're very well coached. And when you have those three elements, I think you have a chance to have a pretty good unit.
Kate Ellis has been in the program for a while, been nicked up a little bit. What are you hoping to see from him?
What I'm seeing out here every day in practice. I think he's moving as good as he's moved since he's been here. I think he's got a really good understanding of what we're doing defensively. So I've seen some steps in the right direction with that player, and we got to continue to see it throughout camp, but early signs are positive.
Dennis, you're a week away from your first preseason game. Are there specifics you want to see from this team leading up, or just kind of ramping up to that?
Yeah, honestly, we haven't really even got into that. That's been the furthest thing from my thought process right now. I'm worried. Today I was worried about, let's get through this practice today and see how we can get better in certain areas in this practice today, and then we'll get a chance to talk tomorrow, personnel-wise, as a coaching staff. The players have the day off, and as we get into next week, we'll start thinking about what we want to do and how we want to see guys play, and what we're trying to get accomplished out of these preseason games.
Also, Sam Mills is going to be inducted into the St. Paul to the Pro Football Hall of Fame today. Just what does that mean just for the organization having a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, look, I think it's awesome. This is obviously an organization that's really dear to me, and I think having that type of recognition, and certainly Sam Mills is certainly deserving of that type of recognition, and so I think it's awesome for their family. I think it's awesome for our organization, and I honestly think it's one of many more to come for this organization. So it's cool deal.
Coaches, did they get a day off tomorrow too?
No. No.
Coach, you talked this offseason about kind of wanting interchangeable safeties with complementary skill sets. There's been like a lot of rotating pieces going on back there. So what have you seen from that group and their ability to work in concert between?
Yeah, I think it's been good up to this point. I think there is a lot of versatility in the guys that we've seen. We've seen P.J. Williams playing back there. We've seen Marcus May playing back there. We've seen Justin Evans playing back there. J.T. Gray, Daniel Sorensen, now Tyrann Matthews back. Like, there's a lot of guys there that bring something to the table. And so it's an interesting competition that we have. And I think all of them have stepped up to the plate to this point. All good?
So I'm just curious. Have you been to the Hall of Fame? The Football Hall of
I have,
Fame?
yeah.
What was that like? You remember the first time you went there?
Yeah, I think the first time I went there was when we went with the Saints organization to play in the Hall of Fame game. Just the history of this game and all the great players and coaches that have made this game what it is today. I mean, I think it's awesome just to see that in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and particularly the players that play this game. Man, they put their heart and soul into this game, and it takes a toll on their bodies and things of that nature, and for them to be able to get that type of recognition, I think is highly appropriate. So, pretty cool. Yep. All right, thanks.
What's up? Great.
Tano, obviously it took you a few days to get out on the field. How has it been kind of adjusting over the last week?
Oh, good. I got a good little transition in. Not much, but came back first day of pads and just been rolling.
And what have you seen from Peyton Turner in year 2?
Just more confidence in his moves. He knows what he's doing. Play-wise and call-wise. So more confidence.
And what are some of the things you pick up, after 1 year that you might not know going in that really kind of stand out for a guy who's trying to find a role?
Just making your plays when they're in front of you. They reward good plays here, and knowing the defense and playing team defense. So that's something I've learned for sure.
I don't know, when you're playing as well as you were last year, and then you have to go out, how difficult a toll is that, I guess, mentally?
It was hard. It just sucks not playing, but it just gave me more reason to be excited to be out here every day, having an opportunity to strap up.
You sort of moved around the line of scrimmage last year, or along the defensive line, last year with the Saints. Do you expect that to continue going into this year, and how important is that rotation for your ability to impact the game late?
Yeah, I definitely see that kind of as my role, having multiple roles. Just being able to play different spots on the defense helps our defense out, because the offense, any offense we play, can't just key in on one thing that I'm doing. And that helps a lot of the other guys, be able to take rests and just change up the look.
Does your pass rushing plan, or let's take a pass rushing. Does your pass rushing plan change depending upon where you're taking snaps?
Yeah, for sure. Inside, everything just happens a lot quicker. So all the moves have to be quicker, just reactions a lot quicker. but yeah, not too much.
After all the injury struggles last year up and down the roster, have you noticed any tangible differences with, Matt Ray and how he is approaching kind of this ramp up and building the season from a health perspective?
Oh yeah, I mean, him and Clapp, I feel like, are two great additions to our team. Just the science behind everything they do has everybody buying in, and just I think will be a really key piece to us succeeding throughout the season. Having everybody with us and just honestly getting stronger throughout the season.
Can you talk about what you see just from the running backs, like as the team grows, that we might be different guys?
I mean, they've always had energy. They always come with energy. Mark is a good leader. They got good leaders over there, AK. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really deal too much with them unless they're running at me.
Okay, we're good.
All right.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate y'all.
Also, just ran 600 yards.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Good, I'm fantastic. Thank you.
Just your thoughts, the first 2 weeks of camp, how's it been going for you?
So far, it's been going great. Learning the playbook a little bit more in detail, thanks to the help of Alvin and Mark and everybody in the running back room, including Coach Thomas. So I'm just a better understanding what's going on is really what my key is.
It's such a physical, brand of runner. Is it a different game for you when the pads are on versus when the pads are off?
It's definitely a different type of game. With the pads off, of course, it's like thud tempo. You kind of got to slow it down. But when the pads come on, you can, duck that shoulder down on somebody and kind of give somebody a speeding bullet is what we like to call in the room. And I mean, I think for me, that's where everybody kind of just comes out and like who's real and who's fake. And just when the pads come on for me, it's a different type of feeling.
What's kind of the thing you want to show this coaching staff and kind of to prove you belong on the roster?
I just want to prove that, everything that was said about me, physicality, toughness, all that, I just want to try to come out here every day and just prove that that's what I am and that's what I bring to this team and that's what I bring to the running back room.
Do you feel like you got a little bit chip on your shoulder here with being undrafted there and coming on in here?
I think there's a chip on my shoulder for sure. Just based off the fact that there's a lot of good going in and a lot of talk going into the draft, but at the same time, I mean, it's nothing I'm not used to. It's always been work since I was little, so just growing up, I knew that if you want something, you got to go get it, and that's my type of mentality. I kind of don't like things handed to me. I like to go out and work for it.
I don't know if you're aware, but fan base-wise, you're one of the favorites in terms of undrafted free agents to make the roster.
Really?
What would that mean to you to make the roster through that pathway?
It mean a lot to me. I think everybody's out here working hard and wanting to make that 53-man roster and just go out there and just put on for New Orleans and put on for my family and everybody back home. So just to make the roster would mean a lot to me. It's what I've been working for since I was a kid, just to go out there every Sunday, Monday, and just play ball in front of my fans and in front of my family.
Where are you at in terms of just knowledge and terminology within the system?
Say it one more time.
Where are you at in terms of your knowledge and kind of how the system and the terminology, where are you at kind of in that development?
I think I'm up there right now, a lot better than when I started, that's for sure. And like I said before, it's with the help of Coach Thomas and a lot of the vets in the room, just helping me get down on my footwork, eyes when it comes to progression, and then of course the read progression when it comes to running the ball. The more I get out there, the more I learn, and then I like to watch AK and Mark and everybody else do their reps and kind of take those mental reps and see how their footwork might be, or how they might run a route, or how they might ID things before pre-snap. So right now, when it comes to knowing what's going on, I think I feel like I'm very up there for the most part.
Even when with that football intelligence, did it help when you were at Baylor when you switched over from linebacker to running back and switching positions? Did you take some stuff out of that, and is that kind of helping you, in this position, like just trying to catch up with the game and learning the game?
I think it helps a lot. Just knowing maybe different fronts, kind of knowing where everybody needs to fit on the other side of the ball, and then I think for me, just setting up the blocks, just knowing like how maybe a backer has to scrape over, or maybe they have to spill, or whatever it might be. Just knowing what they do on that side of the field, and then carrying it over to switching over to running back and looking out, I guess pre-snap recognition, just kind of seeing like, okay, he might have to fit here, or he might have to fit there. He's playing, a 3-tech or whatever it might be. I think for me, yeah, just carrying the linebacker intelligence over the running back really helped a lot.
You feel like that gives you an advantage that maybe other running backs probably don't have?
I would say so, but at the same time, there's a lot of vets in the room. I use AK. He kind of just knows, everything it's about, and he knows about, what somebody should be playing, or when he goes out and runs a route, he knows about the coverage as he's going out. So, I feel like it gave me an advantage, and you step in the room with the vets, and it's like, okay, we're all in the same playing field here, and here we go. I'm learning from, the best.
And how often do you just find yourself like watching what AK is doing and think, okay, this is the way this is supposed to be done. I want to try to like emulate that throughout camp?
I catch myself watching him a lot, watching him and Mark and pretty much all the vets, and they trying to take what they're putting on that field and then mold it into like, I guess, my own way of running the ball or running a route or whatever it might be. Because at the end of the day, everybody has their own different running style and how they might run a route. AK, he's I like to call, he's like a unicorn. It's hard to kind of like, how would you say, manipulate in a way, kind of just like get his like flow of running the ball and running routes. So I try to do my best to pick up on his steps and all that. But I think right now I'm just molding myself out of, or trying to help myself by molding myself out of everybody in the room.
That's a good point. Like, how do you try to like imitate the guy who nobody's like?
It's hard, but you can kind of pick up on different things, like maybe how he gets out on like a choice route, or how he gets over across for a cross blitz. He has to go over in protection, or how he might his footwork on like a press or any kind of run style. Just trying to do my best to, I guess, take away from his ability to do those in those areas.
Did you like run a lot of like zone at Baylor? Is that a similar scheme there?
Yeah, we did a lot of wide zone at Baylor. So coming out here and having that in the playbook is actually a real big help for, I guess, advantage for me. Just coming out of college and not really having to change a whole lot, just tracks and footwork is kind of the same pretty much. And so coming out of Baylor and here to New Orleans, not a whole lot of change when it comes to that, but there's a lot of change when it comes to inside run.
Yeah. Do you like that kind of that scheme where you kind of
getting kind of into it, physical? Yeah, I like going ahead and hitting the inside runs. I think that's where just getting inside the trenches, what a lot of people call, and kind of getting dirty and getting those dirty 4 and maybe one rep or one carry, you're busting it out, and now it's like a 40-yard gain or whatever it might be. So I like the inside runs a lot. We did a lot of mid-zone at Baylor, but it wasn't as, I guess you could say, as physical as it is here.
Dean was here the other day talking about his relationship with your former OC over at Baylor. How did that play a role in your decision to come here to New Orleans, in addition to sort of that scheme similarity?
Well, there's Jeff Ireland, of course. He comes actually out of Abilene, Texas, where I'm born. Where I'm from, not born, but he comes out of there. So he kind of just, I like to say, a small world, and just having that connection with him, that bond with him, and then of course Coach Grimes and DA knowing each other. I think that helped a whole bunch. Just kind of telling me like, hey, like they're looking at you, keep it up, whatever it might be throughout the season, and then through the draft week, and then of course I met up with Coach Thomas and them during the draft, the pre-draft, and just talking to him, I knew like this is where he wanted me to be. He really liked me, and like I said, as soon as I didn't get the phone call, I did get a phone call from him. He was one of the first ones to call me, and we kind of just hit it off right there again, and I knew this is where I wanted to be.
You get time for one more. You eager for preseason game and like in live contact, getting a chance to show what you can do in that?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm fired up for it, just to get out there again and get behind those pads and actually get back in that black and gold from my hometown. Just going out there and getting back to football. I think everybody's excited about it, and I'm extremely excited about it, just to get out there and show what I can do for this team. Thank y'all. Any questions?
Yeah.
I was gonna say we're good.
How are you feeling?
Feel pretty good. First week is the second week. Week 2. Week 2's done. Feels good though. I feel like we're getting better, so making progress.
Peyton, we consistently see you, have these flash moments out here and everything. How would you, in your own words, describe your training camp so far?
Flashy moments. Like I said earlier this offseason, I just want to be more consistent. Have a sack here, have a sack there, go a day without a sack, or whatever it may be. Not make this play, make it the next day. So just being more consistent, I think, is a big focus for me. But I'd say flashy would be a good word for it. Just be more consistent.
Do you feel you're building that consistency though?
I feel like I have this camp. I do feel like I have. I've just gotten better with the run, especially. Better with my hands, better technique and stuff. So I do think that's coming. Just with more reps. It's been since last November, like I said, since I've been out there playing and getting those reps. So just getting more reps, I think, will just lead to more of that consistency.
And you mentioned, you feel like you're better with your hands, and I think that's something that stood out, or at least to me, throughout the first couple of weeks. What have you been doing to work on that? And are those moves that you've kind of worked on, is that something you came in with, or things that you developed?
Yeah, just things that develop over time. Repetitions, like I said, continue to do that. And then in the summer, that was kind of a big focus for me, especially having that shoulder surgery, just getting your hands back to where you're used to using them, and just being violent with them and quick with them, and just having the right, precise hand placement on things. So I think that's been a big focus this offseason, and then just, like I said, more reps equals more better technique.
With that shoulder surgery, how difficult has this process been to get back to being 100%?
The offseason was tough, just being up here, not really having an offseason, just working out and getting back to where I could play football again. But since I've been back out on the grass, I think that it's been going pretty smooth. Feels good.
I talked to David Onyemata last week, and he said you were Marcus Davenport 2.0. What do you think about that? And is he somebody you're picking his brain throughout the last 2 years?
Yeah, Marcus is a great player. That's funny you said that, though. But Marcus is a great player. O's a great player. We just got a great D-line, great chemistry. So I'm really excited. But yeah, when I'm around Marcus, it's really nice to. He's been around for a while, and he's learned from Nelis and learned from Cam. So just being able to talk to both of them, all of them really, about the same things, and just get different takes from them is unique and beneficial for me.
Hey, what was that first day in pads like for you?
First day in pads? Yeah. That was good. It was fun. Good to be back in pads. You anything specific?
Well, everything that you went through. I mean, was it,
It was good. Just getting back out there it did almost feel like I was actually back to football. So it felt nice to be back out there and just getting back to it.
Well, Peyton, just to get to the elephant in the room. Obviously, the dust up with you and Trevor have
Yeah.
made some waves. What happened there, from what you can explain, and how has that been?
Oh, we're just competing. That's how it gets out here, especially in pads, especially in the trenches. Everybody knows that. Camp's long, camp's hard, camp's physical. So it's just nothing big. Just two guys competing. Nothing big though.
Were you surprised it got the national attention it did, just because it involved the same player? 3 straight days with Penny. Were you kind of surprised that probably more people were talking about it?
Yeah. I wouldn't say surprised. I thought it was funny, but that's just as Trevor. But I mean, he's just competing, playing hard, and just a learning element to it as well. But no, that's no big deal. Just two guys competing.
Your first rep against Trevor, did you kind of open your eyes? Like, this guy's a little different in how he practices?
Yeah, I'd seen it a little bit prior to us getting pads on, that he was, through all the way through the whistle. But I mean, that's just him competing and just playing hard. So it is what it is. I don't think it's any big deal. Just like I said, just an aspect of learning to practice with your teammates.
But you I hope you don't mind me asking, you had a couple of days away here earlier on in the week. Is all well?
Yeah, I'm good. I was back out here. Been back out here. Feel good.
You said you wanted to work on your run block. Your run defense before. How's that been going?
Good. I put on a little bit of weight this offseason. About mid 280s now. We all got pretty big DNs now. Everybody don't really have any small DNs. You can probably at Cam because Nielsen calls him a small DN now, but I don't think he likes that because he was already short. So shorter. But run defense. I think that'll help. Just size and then hands, of course, and technique. So just more reps.
Wait, doesn't Cam say he's the short guy in the room now?
He is the short guy, so he might also be the small guy. I don't know. We'll go check the weights after practice, but he might also be the small at the end. So yeah, speed rusher.
Peyton, playing in Houston next weekend. Kind of what does it mean to come back and where you play college and other things?
Cool. It's pretty cool. Grew up watching football, watching the Texans, and then first time actually going to be playing the Texans. First preseason game too, actually. So that'll be new. And it's cool though. You'll be back in your hometown, home city. Have a good amount of family there, friends there, watching. So it'll be cool.
Are they going to be rooting for you or the Texans?
Saints. Texans haven't been too great lately, so Saints. You good? All right, so.
Thanks, Aaron.
Ooh.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Coach Nielsen, how are you feeling about the what you've seen from your defense so far, particularly the secondary, which has made a lot of splash plays, things like that throughout?
Yeah, they have. Feel good about it. Still early. You know, we still haven't played a preseason game yet, but guys are working hard. They're doing their job, all right, and then they're finishing in a manner that we like. And so when you add all that together, that's what you're seeing out there on the field.
Tyrann Mathieu was back in 11-on-11 drills. How are you guys handling that load management? Also, how have you seen him progress back into this defense?
Oh, he's done great. We're just going through the proper progression and getting back to play. But he's all in. He's a really smart player. You can see him kind of getting in our defense and really understanding where he fits in and where he can make plays. So he's doing a great job. I'm so fired up he's here. He is awesome. Ball of energy. I mean, he's all in. So really very happy to have him here.
Is the chemistry, communication there yet between him and Marcus May, or is that still kind of?
Well, I think that's just a progression week to week all the way through the season. You know, we don't ever just stop. We just always want to get better at that.
You know, as we kind of get more and more into camp, I think the co-defensive coordinator thing is interesting to watch. How have you kind of worked with Chris, has it been a learning process to kind of get that, or is it just being as position coach here?
Well, I've known Chris for a long time, and he's a fantastic person and a fantastic coach. And so that makes it easy. And so, bounce a lot of things off of him. He's had a lot of success doing it already. And so it's it's been easy. He's had a lot of input and a lot of insight in what we're doing. And I'm happy he's here. I'm appreciative that he's here. And he comes to work every day and he brings a perspective of, just getting better, and that's awesome.
And are there a lot of moments where you kind of, you focus on the D-line, but you see things in the secondary that, you can kind of bounce off him and vice versa? Does that happen?
It's constant communication,
Yeah.
And we just, hey, how to play this, where to play that, and a lot of, hey, how do you see this? Okay. Which is good. And then, we communicate, he communicates it to his players, and that's what you're seeing, like we talked about in the secondary. They're seeing that teaching, and then, also has Corey Robinson, who's helping. Sterling Moore's helped Peter Genta, who's been around for. We got a great defensive back staff. Those guys are phenomenal. So, and they all work together really well. So I think our players, they're definitely getting coached.
Were you all teammates at USC?
We're in the same recruiting class.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How wild is that?
Yeah, it's a small world. Small world. Same recruiting class. I've known Chris for a long time, and like I said, I'm very happy he's here. He is one of the best, or if not the best.
Who had more stars next to their name?
Oh, for sure him. It wasn't even close. Not even close.
Ryan, I know we haven't seen Marcus Davenport yet, but what work is he putting behind the scenes to get ready, and how close is he just in terms of the preparation part to be ready to jump?
So I'll answer the first one, not the second one. All right, so the first one, he is doing everything that is asked of him. I see him in the weight room. I see him on the field. He's getting back. But I'm not going to answer the second part of the question, but he's doing what he needs to do, and he'll be back when he's supposed to be back.
Another defensive end that's had a really nice camp showing so far, Peyton Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak a little bit on his development and progress?
Year two, and he knows the expectations, knows the defense, knows where he fits in, knows his plan as a pass rusher. It's your second year into it, and so just that is confidence, and that's showing on the field.
Looking at this roster, it seems like y'all have more NFL-proven defenders than you probably have room for on your roster. Just how good can this defense be?
Well, you never have enough, so that's it's a good problem to have. We're still looking to bring more guys in if we can find one that is worthy of that. But we'll be as good as our players want to be. It really is what it comes down to, and I don't expect anything but the best from those guys, and that's what they've shown the last couple of years. We've got great leadership in the room. We've got a lot of guys who played a lot of football. and you can see them coming together, which is pretty cool. You know, they're coming together in the practice, and a few guys haven't been here, but really the majority of the group has been here and been together for a couple of years, and so they're confident making calls and playing together. But look, we're still early, you know, and we got next week. You know, we got our first preseason game, and we just get that much better every day. We'll be fine.
Ryan, how important is it to you to have a rotation of the two guys kind of deep at both the end spots, get guys off the field, get them breather, and it seems like you guys have used fresh legs to your advantage, kind of within the games. I think just philosophy-wise, if we can get 3 deep, 4 deep, 5 deep, like we'll go as far as we can, you know, and guys who can play for us. It's about being fresh in the fourth quarter, but more importantly, being fresh every play. Like that's the important thing. Yeah. Like if those guys are fresh every play, or if we're in a 3 or 4 play rotation, and they're only playing a certain amount of plays in a row, well then the next time they go in, they're more fresh, and so they can perform, you know, at a higher level than, you know, if a guy gets tired. And so we want to keep those guys moving in and out and playing guys that we've got a couple of guys who can play some different positions for us inside. That helps too. Yeah. You know, an end tackle, you know, tackle in, you know, things like that in different personnel packages. Right. But that's been a focus here since, you know, this thing, you know, a long time ago. Yeah. You know, so we just keep, you know, we're always looking to improve and build depth in the group at every position. You know. Do you have to? Sorry. When do you have to get guys to buy into that? You know, especially somebody like Cam, who's historically and he's played like 85, 90% of snaps. You don't see a lot of defensive ends do that.
Yeah. Well, success is a great seller. Yeah. You know, and we have yet to put a depth chart up in the defensive line room at any point in any camp, or we're just telling the guys, hey, you're going out there first and you're going out there next, and make the most of your reps. And that's what it's about. It doesn't matter where you're out there, what play, whoever you're going to, make the most of your reps. You know, and that's been the goal. So we don't need a depth chart. You know, the next man in, next man in, next man in. So they're all starters.
Has that been true since you've been here? Like,
yeah.
No depth chart?
No depth chart.
How have your responsibilities changed since getting the promotion to?
Yeah. Look, here's the thing. This is my 6th season, and with Dennis, and so, you know, I know how he wants it. You know, this thing has been tweaked and made better and made better and made better how we operate. You know, and so it's easy. You know, we just keep the thing going. And I said earlier, if we can just get that much better, you know, every day, and our, you know, Chris and I and the staff. I mean, we got a great staff, and so we just try to, hey, we can get better at this. We can get better at, then just find the things that we need to do as a, you know, little pieces, and then it will in turn make the whole unit better. And so the responsibilities, look, they're going to be the same as before, you know, and maybe a little bit more input in game day, but, you know, with Chris and with the whole thing. But I wouldn't say it's just me, and I wouldn't say it's just Chris. It's all of us. You know, it's a whole defensive staff and head coach, and makes it easy. These guys, we have no egos. I mean, you know, everybody just wants to win. You know, that's what it's about. It's winning football games. And I feel like our staff, all of our staff, is on, you know, has that mindset.
You know, obviously with some of the absences of the D-line, the extra reps people we had. Is
Yeah.
Carl Granderson a guy that feels like he stood out just with some of that extra time and extra opportunity?
I don't know about stood. You know, he's having a good camp, but I think every year he's gotten a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, and so that's what you're seeing. You know, and he's, I don't know, what is this year, 4 for Collar? I mean, he's played a lot of football for us, and a lot of football in the same system. So it makes it easy. He just goes out there and he performs at his best. He gives great effort. You know, he's a really good practice player, and then in turn you see it on Sundays. You know, and his ability to play special teams. It makes him a little bit more valuable.
Ryan, when you deal with the talent and accomplishments like Cam Jordan has had, as a coach, what do you need to do, or what do you do to, I guess, challenge or push somebody who's been able to do what he's done with teams?
Yeah, it's about getting better. Do it better than you've ever done it before. And if that's his mindset, which it is, you know, his best season, whatever that season is, let's do it a little bit better than that.
And then, I mean, let's really push the envelope of how good we can really be. And so everything is you know, in that trajectory of like that's how we're coaching. You know, just you did it good here, let's do it better next time. And he's all into that. I mean, he is all into what we're doing and what he got a pleasure to coach, practices hard. I mean, a pro's pro, you know, so the whole thing, so that makes it easier too. Good. All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very good. But how do you feel you're carving out your role amongst the rest of the running back room thus far?
Yeah, definitely feel like I'm making a good push, you know, to show what I can do individually along inside this offense. Definitely trying to do whatever they ask me and a little bit more. Just trying to make sure I can be a consistent guy for them they can count on, especially in this offense. That's what I think what they're looking for the most.
And does that include like what you can do in the passing game just as much as you're running? Because we've seen you make plays in both.
Yes, sir. Definitely. You know, catching the ball is a big thing for the running back position in this offense. You know, just makes you more of a threat, more multiple. Makes the defense have to think more, and the more guys we can get down the field, the easier it is going to be for us to spread it up and cut them apart. So, just being able to catch the ball as well as run it effectively at the running back position is something I'm definitely aiming for.
Does the fact there's even more depth in this running back room than it was the last time you were here?
For sure, yeah. I definitely think they, the coaching staff and the front office assembled like a good group of talented guys that could go and make an impact on like any other team. So the fact that we all got them here, it's going to force everybody to get better and pushing everybody to make the plays when they're there.
Is there something specific about maybe the scheme or maybe the usage of running backs here that's brought you back a couple of times?
Yeah, just how multiple they like to use the running back. That's one thing I've always thought about myself as, like, although I'm a bigger guy, I like to be in all those open sets, catch the ball, run in between the tackles, get outside. Just how well and how versatile they make the running back position. It's attractive for running back. It adds value to you as an individual and to the team.
What's it like just watching a guy like Alvin, who's obviously one of the best backs in the league, but to kind of see how hard he goes in practice?
I mean, it's incredible. It's great when you have some of your best players that work that hard because it makes it easy for everybody to just follow suit, on offense and defense. And, he's a guy that you can only watch and try to take pieces of his game and try to add them to yours because he just does things, his own way. Like he makes a role for himself. So just trying to be like that, trying to separate yourself and do special things is something you definitely get when you watch him.
Have you had that moment where you see Alvin do something, just that wild moment? I can't believe he just
like he does some things like you can't even watch it and try to copy it. Like that's him. Don't do it like that because that's how he does it. Which is that's what makes him the threat he is. But you just got to figure out how to make it work for yourself.
You've seen a little bit more in terms of your route tree coming out of the backfield throughout camp versus what we've been able to see from you so far. Has that been a specific focus for you so far this offseason?
Yes, definitely. Having that little bit of OTAs coming back here and just kind of seeing what the running backs were supposed to do and like how they kind of wanted to fit, I definitely made sure to emphasize those things in my training in that little month we had off. So coming back and finally being able to display it, I'm happy that it's showing some fruit of the labor. So I just got to keep sharpening those tools and getting better.
At the top of the depth chart, obviously Alvin and Mark, but behind them I feel like there's a really steep competition for just kind of depth spots. And so when you go into the preseason, how do you approach that? Because does it feel kind of like, okay, this is my chance to really just showcase why I should be on the roster?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of things that, that 3 spot that you're kind of talking about is going to have to do. And these games are going to be a great way to see if, that guy that can fill that spot. Because, typically to try to make the plays that are available to me, just make the most of them. But there's things that I need to do on special teams, things that I need to do catching the ball, run blocking, or blocking and running, just making sure when those opportunities come, I display the best of my ability.
Is that a situation where you can kind of get in your own head, too, where you kind of just want to go out there and do your thing, but, if you put too much on it and you start, pressing, is that something that can happen?
I mean, it's definitely always, it's everything you have to manage, you know what I mean? Like, because, you want to do great. Everybody puts a lot of pressure on themselves to be as successful as we know we can be. So going out there and trying to do it every single time, if you let that sit on you, it could be a hindering factor, but you just got to go out there, do your best, play free, and then those good plays will come when opportunities are, just take advantage.
It's a little unique now around the NFL, but for you as a running back, do you enjoy the idea of running behind a fullback in this system?
Oh yeah, especially a guy like Adam. And then it's put it on the line for us. But definitely, it's classic football. You know, it's a guy you get to read. Once he makes that big block, it just opens it up for you. So it's definitely homage to the past. But he's extremely good at his job, and it makes it very easy for us.
How much more confidence does that give you as a back when you know you have these maulers in front of you and a fullback who's ready to just light somebody up?
Yeah, I mean it gives you a lot of confidence. That's one thing. Like I think a lot of young backs, like I've even back in my career, had trouble like trusting the O-line, but it's very easy here, especially when you say you got guys like that up front and a fullback willing to risk it all. Like it makes you just, as long as you do your part, you know they're going to do theirs. So it's real easy for everybody just to get on the same page and kind of buy into the plays and stuff.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Oh,
I
good.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Just to make sure the bottom.